Hello. Right, we're going to talk about Sanguine movement a bit. And Sanguine is a missile week that we all know about. Might want to consider getting some extra knocks or drags into comps like Typhoon or an Evoker knock, or ourselves as prot warriors we can spec into Menace. It's a bit messy to move. You target one ad, it fears that guy and fears everything around it, but also knocks everything around it away. But in general, there's also movement that you might want to consider, and here's one example. First pull cost. Things here are gonna die unevenly. It's just gonna be the guards that are going to die unevenly. So we're gonna kill everything to begin with, and then we're gonna move them out slowly. It's more efficient movement. If you don't have a guy knocking, like that's a huge knock, which probably saves us, let's say 10% healing or whatever. It still saves us some healing on the mobs. Now I'm just gonna move away because there's no reason for me to kite them when I can go to the next guy, and we want the sentry dead nonetheless. So I'm just moving, and they're gonna die eventually. And I'm also telling people to just focus the sentry and clear these down. What you can do is look for single target stuns like a kidney or a stormbolt. Sadly my stormbolt is on cooldown now, but to stun the lowest target guy, or the guy, if the guy in the back is the lower target guy, you would stun him and he would die. If the target in the front is the lower target guy, you would probably lower health guy, you would probably stun that and let the one in the back move past it. Or you can stun the one in the back then and turn around. Sorry, not turn around, but turn around after this guy's dead, then turn around. But we just keep on moving here. And this is an example in costs. You also want to be very careful with bosses. Like this could have been better. He also used a vortex for the sentry, which sadly applied to the guards as well, so we kind of poo-pooed there. There's also a trick about moving a bit left to right to get the mobs, not get the Sanguine healing. You also want to consider what you're slowing and how much you're slowing. Like this could be a week where we might want to skip the Frostfire belt, for example. Not certain yet, but it could be. We're gonna move on to a 26 knock that we did, and here a lot of it is based off movement, because there's, for example, in this pull there's 3 ranged guys, and the Lance Master also has a lot of time where he just stands still, right? And he's also stupid to move. So we're making sure to have the horn sound routes outside now that it's dying first. Keeping it outside, and I'm starting to move the Lance Master already a bit. Make sure that it's not gonna be in the Sanguine puddle, and it's not gonna stay in the Sanguine puddle. Now we're focusing that longbow first, but they're also knocking now, I think. Actually, for whatever reason, that longbow moved perfectly, so that was kind of a wasted knock, but it's fine. And I'm just moving them away from each other. That guy's standing still, and I moved the other guy past it, and could have had a bit more efficient DPS by keeping them stacked for a bit longer, but this was more than fine. Same thing here. They're using this fucking pillar here, whatever it is, means that the war spears aren't gonna charge them. They're not gonna give a flying fuck about them. But making sure to not kill the longbows first, and to not have anything on top of them. You can't, it's harder to move mobs that are standing still, right? Whatever, let's not get too far into it. I assume everyone understands. I'm gonna skip a bit to the next boss part. Sorry, no, we're gonna skip to the third boss area. And here it's just anyways constant movement, right? But the dead speakers are naughty. You might want to consider here as well what to focus. Ideally, if you could, you would nuke the dead speakers before anything else, because those are the guys standing still for up to 10 seconds each time. However, it's also not too big of a deal. If they stay alive, it's just a bit annoying. It's worse if the soul harvester stays alive for too long. You can chain the dead speakers, but you're most likely not chaining a soul harvester into on hierarchies. It's just almost constant movement. Here I'm knocking to no, I'm not knocking. It moved perfectly. And I'm also trying to, here I should have moved a bit further to the side. I'm trying to position so it would move to the side here rather than into the sand dune puddle. That was a weird route, but what it is. Now we're just moving them past, and it's just gonna, things are just gonna chain die. I'm gonna stun these because I'm also aware of which ones that are stun immune. For example, the Soul Harvester is stun immune, the Death Speakers are stun immune. So we're just, at worst risk, we're gonna heal the Beast Scholar and the Risen Warrior, but not the Death Speakers and the Soul Harvester, which is already high health. But prioring the right targets on a Sanguine week is a big deal. It's kind of like bowstring. Like, you also want to prior the right targets then. Route is being a bit weird because we had a wrong pull at the start and then we just made up for it. It's whatever, enough of that. And I'm gonna show a bit of Asher Vault. Here you've got the curators, for example, that are casting forever as well. So as you can see, the Rune Seal Keeper is about to die, so I'm just gonna keep on moving. It could have been more efficient, but we've got these 4 arcane elementals that are dying about at the same time. So I'm gonna say knock, and they should be knocking them. Shooters? No, wait, no. Yeah, no, which is perfect. Then the creator is dying and everything else is finished off, and it's nothing in Sanguine. We did have some Sanguine healing, and yeah, to kill them all at the same time, but good luck with that. I'm sure that's gonna work out great. Same thing here, just spread them out. No, don't spread them out too early, but later on you find that you spread them out. Don't slow them too much, keep on moving, and consider who is gonna stand still, what mob is gonna stand still, what direction do you have to go. Can you avoid putting a Sanguine puddle beneath that? Gonna move onwards. This should be a pretty free pull. But it wasn't, because we had a weird Sanguine puddle on the edge here, and he knocks into that because he doesn't see it. So he's typhooning now. Whereas it in general was pretty good. And it would have been a perfect typhoon, but it was a Sanguine puddle that he didn't see. Here I'm actually wiping. I don't like Sanguine weeks too much either, but it's a huge time waster though. Here we also just keep on moving, but I wouldn't recommend taking the Lieutenant in on this week because it's naughty. Like, I don't want to get the Sanguine puddle beneath him, but I could also not move much further. I could have moved further back. And here I'm kiting the healer. It's just a mess. But in general, the movement that you also want to do, let's say you have 10 melee mobs and they're all about to die evenly, you would just move backwards like this. So it's not true. You would move 80, 80, 80, 80, but faster also. If you want, you would go like this. Kind of. A bit weird. You would take a big step backwards twice and then move side to side. I think is how I usually do it.